All right, let's go back and refresh our memory of what we've read so far. All right. So Mr. Carrot, Mohammed's Carrot, he has how many diamonds is Mr. Carrot missing right now? Who remembers? Okay, remember he's missing 6. So here we go with chapter 4. Okay, we're going to read 2 chapters today. The suspects. In the hallway between the office and the store, Mr. Carrot opened suddenly and lowered his voice to a whisper. Please help me catch the thief. Otherwise, I'll be bankrupt soon. Jerry and Maya had no time to reply before Mohammed Carrot walked on. They followed him into the store to meet the other 3 employees, Vivian Leander, Danny Braveheart, and Luke Smith. Mohammed Carrot stood in the middle of the store and introduced everyone. This is Jerry and Maya. They're going to work here for a few days. They will wash the windows, empty the trash, run errands, and help with other odds and ends. Vivian and Luke stepped forward to shake hands and say hello. Vivian wore a glittering necklace. Strange, thought Jerry. She's supposed to be short on money. Vivian Leander smiled at Jerry and Maya, but they sensed her mind was on something else. Why did she stop and listen outside the owner's door earlier? How could she afford such an expensive gold necklace? What does she know about the stolen diamonds? Luke held a bright green apple in his hand and laughed, showing his big white teeth. He likes fruit. Yes.
I don't know the link where I can find the tests.
Oh. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, said Luke, with a laugh, patting his well-toned stomach. Then he threw the apple up in the air and tried to catch it behind his back. But he missed, and the apple fell with a thud and rolled under the glass cabinet near Vivian Leander. She turned up her nose at Luke, who was down on his knees, digging around under the cabinet. Danny Braveheart smiled sourly at Luke Smith, who he thought was making a fool of himself, scrambling around on the floor. Danny did not step forward to say hello like the others. He stayed in his corner and glared at the 2 children. He didn't seem to like anyone new coming into the store. All right then, let's get back to work, said Mr. Carrot, clapping his hands together. Time is money, as we all know. Maya immediately headed to the broom closet and took out a bucket, cloth, and squeegee. She started cleaning the store window while keeping her eyes and ears alert. Back on her side of the store, Vivian Leander started to hum and fiddle around behind the counter. Before too long, the first customer of the day came in. It was an elderly gentleman with a gray mustache and a hat. He entered the store like a man on a mission. He had stopped in front of a glass display case containing a selection of expensive diamond necklaces. He must be looking for something beautiful for the woman he loves, thought Maya. As soon as she saw their first customer, Vivian Leander blushed and fluttered around nervously. Since Maya had the inside situation under control, Jerry left the store to investigate outside. He hung his binoculars around his neck and jogged across the street to the church. Inside, he met the church caretaker. Jerry introduced himself as a local ornithologist. A local what? Asked the caretaker. An ornithologist. It means bird watcher, explained Jerry. Someone who studies birds. I was wondering if I could do a bit of bird watching from the church tower, he continued, holding up his binoculars. There have been reports of a South American jacuzzi stork here in town. A very rare bird. If I am lucky enough to have a sighting of it, I'll report it to the newspaper right away. It would be a huge sensation for Pleasant Valley. I'm sure that'll be all right, replied the caretaker, and showed Jerry the door leading up to the tower. Up in the tower, the caretaker opened some of the shutters that faced the street. He wished Jerry luck and headed back downstairs. Once alone, Jerry crouched down and began looking through his binoculars. And Mohammed Carrot's jewelry store on the opposite side of the street. The investigation was on. Chapter 5. Investigations Inside and Out. Down in the store, Jerry could see Vivian Leander showing jewelry to the elderly gentleman. The tray, lined with red velvet, held glittering necklaces and sparkling rings. She looks pretty happy, thought Jerry. I wonder why. The elderly man looked at the jewelry, but he seemed more interested in the assistant.
Miss Stanfield, I'm so
Yes.
sorry. They need a cut.
Jerry could see Maya cleaning on the other side of the store. He was sure she was trying to hear what Vivian and the customer were saying. When the elderly gentleman turned to leave, Vivian stopped him with a kiss on the nose. What service? Did she do that to all the customers? Wondered Jerry. Inside the store, Maya took her window cleaning supplies and headed up to the second floor. She knocked and then opened the door to Danny Braveheart's office. I'm going to clean the windows in here, she said politely. Danny Braveheart quickly shut something away in his desk drawer. Something he obviously didn't want Maya to see. Maya tried to peer across the room to see what it might be, but Danny stopped her with a hiss. Don't you have something else to do besides snoop on me? Go ahead and start cleaning the windows if you must. What a nasty guy, thought Maya. He's definitely hiding something. From his perch in the church tower, Jerry could see everything. Maya had moved to the window. She cautiously waved to him and he waved back. But then Jerry saw something else, something that scared him. Danny Braveheart had opened his desk drawer and taken out a long knife. He tested the blade against his thumb and nodded approvingly. Maya is trapped in a room with a madman wielding a knife, and I can't do anything about it, Jerry thought desperately. He waved frantically at Maya and gestured for her to turn around, but Maya just waved happily back. Rip! Maya spun around at the sudden noise and saw Danny Braveheart opening letters with a long, sharp knife. It was a letter opener. I finished the windows in here, said Maya nervously. Danny Braveheart didn't answer. When Maya left the room, she heard him opening the desk drawer again. I guess he's taking out whatever he hid before, thought Maya. Last page. Jerry lowered his binoculars and breathed a huge sigh of relief. No one said detective work was easy, he thought. Then he heard someone stomping up the stairs to the church tower. It was the caretaker again. Have you seen a jacuzzi stork yet? He asked curiously. Not yet, answered Jerry. But an ornithologist needs a lot of patience. Jacuzzi storks are tough to spot this early in the year. The newspaper decides to write anything about the bird. Could you tell them I was the one who opened the church tower for you? Asked the caretaker. Of course, said Jerry. My name is Roland Sussman. Sussman with 3 S's, said the caretaker. But Jerry hadn't heard him because he was already busy looking through the binoculars again. All right, that is all.